Here's why you play Vexana, the shimmer of hope in the mid lane. First off, she has amazing crowd control thanks to her ability to terrify and knock back enemies with her spells, making her a strong presence in team fights. She also brings incredible burst damage with her abilities that can quickly punish squishy targets and pressure enemies in the backline. On top of that, Vexana excels in team fights since her skills cover wide areas and her summon can greatly impact battles by dealing consistent damage. However, Vexana is very squishy, meaning she can be easily bursted down if caught out of position. She also has limited mobility, making her an easy target for assassins and divers. Lastly, she is highly reliant on positioning as she needs proper spacing to land her skills effectively and summon her Eternal Guard safely. Vexana's passive, Nether Touch, allows both Vexana and her Eternal Guard to inflict a curse on enemies they hit. When a cursed enemy dies, they explode, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies. This allows Vexana to add pressure in fights and punish grouped enemies with chain explosions. Vexana's first skill, Deathly Grasp, unleashes a claw in the target direction, dealing magic damage to enemies in its path. If it hits an enemy hero, it terrifies and knocks them back, then explodes to damage and terrify nearby enemies as well. This skill provides strong crowd control in fights and can initiate or disrupt enemy plays. Vexana's second skill, Curse to Blast, marks an area which explodes after a short delay to deal heavy magic damage to all enemies inside. It's her main source of burst damage and can be devastating when combined with crowd control to trap enemies within the blast zone. Vexana's ultimate, Eternal Guard, summons a giant Eternal Guard at the target location, dealing magic damage and knocking enemies airborne. The Eternal Guard then fights alongside Vexana for a duration, attacking enemies in a large area and scaling with their max HP. This ultimate is her signature move, providing massive damage and zone control in team fights. A typical skill combo for Vexana is to start with her first skill to lock enemies down, followed by the second skill for burst damage. Use the ultimate either to start a fight when enemies are grouped or to follow up after allies crowd control for maximum impact. Moving on to builds, I usually build Demon Boots, Glowing Wand, Divine Glaive, Wishing Lantern, Lightning Truncheon, and finally Holy Crystal. These are the emblems that go along with this build. As for battle spells, the best battle spells for Vexana are Sprint to Reposition, Purify to escape crowd control, Flame Shot for extra poke and finishing power, or Flicker to escape threats and make aggressive plays. Vexana works well against backline DPS heroes such as Layla, Irithel, and Savior since her long-range skills and control can punish immobile damage dealers. However, she struggles against mobile assassins like Saber, Amon, and Karina, who can quickly burst her down before she can respond. Vexana pairs best with allies who can bring strong crowd control such as Atlas, or with high burst damage heroes like Beatrix, who can quickly follow up on her setup. You should start by upgrading second skill at level 1 for strong poke and damage, prioritize maxing the second skill first with first skill as your secondary, and most importantly upgrade the ultimate whenever available. When playing Vexana, positioning is key. Always stay behind your frontline and use her long range abilities to poke and control enemies. Try to save your first skill for priority targets like assassins or marksmen, as terrifying them can instantly shift the fight in your favor. Second skill works best when chained after crowd control, so time it with ally stuns or with your own first skill. Your ultimate should not just be used for damage, it can also act as a frontline presence that zones enemies and absorbs pressure in fights. Be mindful of assassins and divers since Vexana is squishy and lacks mobility. Always keep your battle spell ready to escape. Finally, in team fights, focus on hitting grouped enemies to maximize your passive explosions, as this can quickly snowball damage across the enemy team.